Well, hello everyone. We are going road tripping in Elly the 2CV today. We're doing it old school and recording a little video diary as we drive along on my mobile phone. Probably won't be much footage of the actual drive along just because Elly's a nightmare to film in at the best of times, but I'll keep you posted throughout the way. We've got a very interesting few days ahead. I'm off to do a mock driving test this afternoon with a leading sort of YouTube channel in that regard. And then tomorrow I'm visiting the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust at the British Motor Museum because my friend Neil is now the curator there. Very interesting drives ahead, and we'll find out a bit more about the museum itself. Really looking forward to it. But we're here on the west coast of Wales. The next stop is Wolverhampton, which is 130 miles away. It's going to take about 3 hours. I've allowed some time for breaks as well. We'd better get on the road in Elly the 2CV. So she came out, she did the 50-mile road run. We did the charity road run, and she hasn't really done a fat lot since, so we're just going to hurtle off and hopefully everything will be fine. Just to say, our start mileage is 223,380 miles. Well, we've made it to Welshpool, but not without incident. I ended up following a hay wagon, and I've ended up building up a bleeding grill muff. This isn't good. She'll end up overheating on the motorway, so I'm going to try and clear all this blooming hay out. This was coming into the car as well, so that was great, but I'm just going to give her a quick clean. She's covered in tree sap and hay indeed, so maybe the pressure washer will get rid of some of this as well. How immensely irritating. It was fresh out of the field pretty much, so it was just a sea of blooming hay. Poor Elly. I'll give her a quick wash. It's just refueled, and then we'll be on our way. There we go. She's looking beautiful again. Got rid of bird muck and most of the hay. But we've got another slight issue, which I think it's this. Rattling away. There should be a spring to go to here to stop these rattling. It's a heat exchanger flap. Currently got the heater set to on. So I've liberated one of the rubbers from the seats. I'm going to see if this will work to silence it. It might not be perfect, but it might just put enough tension on it to stop it rattling quite so much as we're going down the road. We can check the other side. We've actually got the spring in place, albeit not perfectly in place. That's not entirely fitted correctly. That should be hooked up over there really. Okay, it lives there, but that one is quiet because the tension is being held onto it. Oh, just taking a moment to rest myself, but I forgot to say we're probably, well, it depends. I think we're about halfway in mileage terms, but the next block of mileage will mostly be on much faster roads. But we've done about 2 hours so far, I think. When did I set off? Just after 7, and oh, I can't see what the time is now. It is now 9:30. So yeah, I've done about 2 hours, just over 2 hours to get to Welshpool, and we've still got about an hour to go, traffic permitting, but as it's now the other side of 9 o'clock, I'm hoping the traffic will be fairly minimal. But yeah, this is going to be a fun day. So the plan is I'm heading to DGN Driving School, who are based in Wolverhampton, do a lot of filming on their own channel, almost 600,000 subs. They're doing really well, and I know Miss Hubnut's been watching their videos to get a bit of insight into driver training and tests. They do a lot of filming mock tests. They obviously don't film the real tests because people need to focus on what they're doing, but yeah, really interesting stuff. So we should, if we can fit the cameras in, be filming a mock test of me driving Elly, which is going to be very interesting for their channel. They will never have done a test in a 2CV before, and interesting for me because I would like to know what my driving's like. So that'll be appearing on their channel, and after that I'm then going to film Pin, the driving instructor. I'm going to give him a driving lesson in Elly the 2CV. He's never driven anything like this, so I think that's going to be very, very interesting for him, and should be good fun. And then tomorrow I've just booked a hotel for the night. Tomorrow we're then down at the British Motor Museum at Gaydon to visit the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust. Very, very excited about that. We've got two very interesting cars lined up there, and hopefully we'll have a chat with Neil, who is now the curator of the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust. So a chap I've known for a very long time, since we worked in magazines together. In fact, we started about the same sort of time, I think. 2007 is when I started on Classic Car Weekly, and I think he'd started on Practical Classics just before. And yeah, long story, but we ended up both working in the same building at one point, and he is a toppermost chap, and I've stayed in touch with him. I was editing Classic Jaguar magazine, he was working at Jaguar Land Rover looking after their heritage fleet, so that is a separate entity to the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust. Probably worth having this discussion now, because I can't really fit it into the video without it getting really clunky. But yeah, Jaguar Land Rover has its own collection of vehicles. The Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust was set up to separate the vehicles from Jaguar, so if anything happened to the parent company, this trust had all the vehicles. Obviously British Leyland, it goes back to the British Leyland era. There was a worry these cars could be lost, so they were put into trust, and that trust can be seen at the British Motor Museum. I think Furious Driving was there recently. I went 3 years ago, I think, and did some filming there, so in Elly, funnily enough. So yeah, it'll be good to go there again. But yeah, I need to get on my way. Been chatting far too long, so let's progress to Wolverhampton. But one of the main reasons I'm not filming video going along, and I will shortly do this again, is I'm driving with earplugs in, because Elly is just so blooming loud. Still a little bit of run. Hopefully it'll be alright. So we'll push on to Wolverhampton. This is what 70-ish miles an hour feels like in a 2CV. Around 65 actually, I've been doing 62, 65. It's quite loud. Sorry if I sound funny, I've got my earplugs in. A very obvious reason for coming past Telford. Well, we have made it to Wolverhampton. There are learner drivers all around, all nervously awaiting their actual tests, but of course I'm here to do a mock one. Pin, who I'm with today, not here yet. Got a slight issue on Elly though, the throttle's sticking, which is not ideal either for the mock test or for me handing over controls to someone who's never driven a 2CV before, so we'll have a little play with that. We know we had issues the last time Elly came to the Midlands when she was getting a sticking throttle when Tim at Cambria Classics was driving, so we'll have another go. Ooh, that was a stressful experience. You'll notice we've had to move one of Elly's wipers just for filming reasons, but how did I do? Well, you're going to have to head to DGN, their channel, to find out. He's got the pad, so that'll all be revealed on there. But now Pin, having done my driving test, he's going to drive Elly the 2CV, and that will be appearing on my channel. And then we've got to get off to overnight accommodation. And there we go, our driving day is done. We are staying at the Bournebrook Inn here in Pershaw, I think it is. No, it's Pershaw Road. I'm going past Sturchley. That's where we are. I know because my nan used to live that way, and we used to live that way. So I would be up and down this road so many times in my childhood. That used to be a co-op complete with a milk float depot, so they'd all come rattling out the depot there. And yeah, things change a lot, but it's about 55 quid for a room, I think, so we better go and see what it's like. But yeah, well done Elly, you can have a rest now. You've had a very long day. Well, sadly they seem to have removed any trace of the 1836 building. The view outside is reassuringly Birmingham, I'm going to say. That's kind of what it looked like when I was a child. Slightly neglected, much like rural France, and this is what it looked like many years ago. And this is the old co-op building, all gone now. Very impressive. But the best way to judge a hotel, I find, is to reject these awful UHT milk capsules. You can't make tea with these, it will be terrible. So what happens when you go to the front desk and say, can I have a jug of milk? If they sort of go, no, bad sign. Here, I got a jug of milk, so I can have a proper cup of tea. So that's nice. So I think I'm going to do that. Have a bit of a rest and an unwind, probably start editing, and then we might head out for a bit of an explore. Actually, we'll just do a bit more reviewing. This really useful space, somewhere to instantly chuck your bags and stuff. I like that. We've got hangers if needs be. Go into the bathroom, it all looks quite modern in here, and a good sized shower cabinet. Should we test the power? This could be risky. This is where I get absolutely soaked. So aim the shower head at the wall. Oh, that looks decent amount of power. Oh, flash up. I'm so professional at these. Yeah, I'm going to say that's not bad at all. Okay, sadly all isn't quite as good as I originally thought. The toilet seat is only very slightly attached. It's mostly not. The toilet roll holder is broken, hence toilet roll here and here, but that's okay because you can kind of use this to have your wash bag in. There is nowhere to put a towel. I don't know if there's any hooks. Oh, there's the old drunken octopus, but a towel isn't going to stay on that. You just need somewhere. Why not have a towel rack about here? Zoom out a bit, where you can hang your towel. Doesn't seem too much to ask, really. And there's no hand wash at all, so you have to bring your own, which isn't the biggest thing, but it's the sort of thing, when you first get here and you go to the toilet, it's kind of the first thing that you want, isn't it? Incidentally, these beautiful t-shirts are available from RJW Creative Design. Go and seek him out because it's nothing to do with us. This was just bought as a present, a very nice present. It's got lots of citrons on it. Oh, time for a bit of exploring. This is the outside, the front of the building. As you can see, lots of traffic, lots of angry tempers, and lots of slightly disheveled buildings. Welcome to Sturchley. Oh, check this out. I mean, it looks like it's closed down, but I remember this place. I remember the big Reliance sign up the side. I don't know if it's still trending or not. It's still trading rather, or not. I can see some iZams on microcars in there, but yeah, that was trading back when I used to come here. It must still be going. It's closed up today, but it's got fairly modern looking cameras and everything, so perhaps it is still going. But over this side, this here used to be Metro Man, I think, or a Metro Specialist, certainly. So a little bit different today. Regular breakers. I'm just going to go for a bit further walk up here to rekindle some memories. Gosh, I don't recognise this at all, but this is a location at the end of Dogpool Lane where there was a scrapyard that took my first car, a Mark II Fiesta. It was in very, very poor condition. I'm going to run away because school's just emptying out. But yeah, that's where I last saw Squibble. And all very much redeveloped. It's quite amusing. The people who run the pub or the hotel where I'm staying say it's an up and coming area, which of course means that it's absolutely on its arse at the moment. This was the Dogpool Hotel. Doesn't look like it's traded for a very long time. By the way, I got given £30 for my Fiesta. It wasn't in a very good way, to be fair, but I still felt a little hard done by. My parents had bought me that car the previous year for 520 quid, but they've been ripped off as well by a very, very dodgy trader. It was an absolute pup. But of course, my memories are very fond, and it sent me down the path of remarkably knackered vehicles that I'm still treading to this very day. But I think I've had enough of all this. I think I'm going to head back to the hotel, get editing part 4 of the Dutch trip, which the raw footage is over an hour, so I'm hoping I can compress some of that now, and yeah, find some dinner. Well, it's a beautiful morning, so we're going to head off. I've got the roof back. This van is parked a little close. Not the best parking, Mr. John Goodrich, but nonetheless we can make our way. Fortunately, Elly is a skinny car, And I guess the plus side is it effectively hid Elly, so less chance of any bother overnight. I did take some immobilising steps, but thankfully they don't seem to have been required, and everything is good. So I'm going to get on my way to the British Motor Museum. It's about an hour away. I've set on motorway because the motorway will just be grim anyway, and I'm going to see how I get on. I'll try and take you along with me, but it's quite difficult because I haven't got enough spare cameras, but let's see. Step one, of course, is to start the car. So we'll set the choke, give her about 1 finger segment of choke, that tends to be enough. Ignition on. There we go, don't touch the throttle. Maybe touch the throttle a bit, but she's running beautifully. Right, onwards. I'm just having a quick stop in the very pretty little town, or village rather, of Barford. I just thought I'd do a bit of sightseeing, like this remarkable LDV 400 turbo. It's got the turbocharged Peugeot diesel, I think. These have become so rare to see. I used to have a beaver tail of one of these, and this was built around the time I did my college work experience at the LDV factory. The little window in the fact it has a chimney suggests it is now quite a stealthy camper, and it's quite rusty as you'd expect, but interesting to see nonetheless. Right, on we must go. Well, now we're on private ground. I'm going to hand hold the phone. There we go, the British Motor Museum, which opened 30 years ago, which means I've been coming here for 30 years. You used to park in a car park up the top, and a Land Rover road train would bring you down to the museum itself. But yeah, I always get such a thrill. This place is such an amazing place. And I see one of today's cars parked outside. I might go and park somewhere near it. I'm a bit early really, but I'm sure Neil won't mind. Oh, Neil's in his Volkswagen T4 today, as is one of his colleagues. And as a sign of just how much love there is between us, Neil has finally, his is the blue one, put the windscreen wipers on the right way around. Thank you, Neil. Oh, he's made my day. But yeah, we are going to be doing a video about that XK120 today. Marvellous. As a bit of a bonus for you, come through here. It's the Jaguar Le Mans car, which I presume is heading off to Le Mans because they're having a massive celebration, 100 years of Le Mans this year. It's a lot noisier when running. That's hybrid power. This is the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Collection within what is known as the Collection Centre here at Gaydon. So Jaguar Daimler Heritage Centre Trust is downstairs, and upstairs is the overspill from this museum. This is the British Motor Museum, a most splendid place. So we're in Gaydon in Warwickshire. You can come and see this car and many others, and they do like to get them out. So here's a Jaguar XJS C for the semi-convertible, the remover Targa panels. Over there we've got a police XJS, and we've got a 4-wheel drive XJS next to a rather sporty looking XJ. So yeah, you definitely want to come here and check it out. That's been quite the day. 3 videos in. Oh, I'm sorry about the wind, but Elly's squashed in behind these enormous SUVs, and it's time to start heading back to Wales. But it's gone 4 o'clock now. It's going to take a good 4 hours, I should think, to get home. So we'll stop somewhere for dinner. We'll do a couple of hours and then stop, because that's about the time the roads will be getting horrible, I should think. But yeah, here we go. Well, I'm starting to regret not having the move my cables out of the way. Not having the sunscreen on. I might get burnt. I put a bit of cream on, hopefully that'll be enough. It's alright, Elly, it's alright. I love you most. I know I've been driving all these other cars, but which cars have I been driving here today? Well, you've seen one of them. The other one is a bit more of a secret. You'll see that later. Don't worry, it's nothing fancy at all. It's possibly one of the least fancy cars they have in the collection, if it's allowable to say such a thing. This parking space. But yeah, we've been very lucky. The steering is so much lighter than the last car I drove. Yeah, so lucky we caught some very interesting moments today at the museum. And that's the beauty of coming here. There's no guarantee you'll see something interesting, but sometimes you might. Like a Range Rover Evoque prototype, just sort of floating around down here. Interesting. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to drive home. I've set it to avoid motorways, so I just cannot be bothered, and we'll see where we end up. Did too much check there, Elly, eh? There we go. Come on, love, we are going home. Oh, just to add for storyboard purposes, 160 miles to home. So yeah, we've still got a lot of driving to do, Elly. Just keep it on. Well, having failed to score dinner at an OK diner, I'm currently making my way through a creamy creamy tomato chicken and mozzarella slice. That was actually quite tasty. I've got some barbecue chicken skewers. Oh, nice bit of warmth in them. And then I've got some fruit smoothie, grapes, apple, and cookies. Definitely a fruit. Oh yes. Sorry, I forgot to give you a time update. We're still over 2 hours away. This is the very pretty village of Pembridge, where I think we stopped with Elly when I hit 100,000 miles behind the wheel of her. She's rapidly getting on for 224,000 miles at the moment. That's the new inn, apparently. I wonder what the old one looked like. Oof, we're coming up the Elm Valley. Hello. I've got really long legs, apparently. And yeah, well, it's a beautiful spot, isn't it? We just stopped here because we've just hit 300 miles on this trip since yesterday morning. Oof. We've still got a fair ways to go, probably about an hour and a half, I think, from here. But yeah, isn't it beautiful? Coming through the Elm Valley, you know this is one of my favourite roads. Oh. Well, that is Aberystwyth, and that is Elly. So we're getting closer to home, but I'm going to have to put the roof back on. I'm absolutely frozen. My hands are exhausted from gripping the tiny little steering wheel. But hey, we've only got about 40 minutes to go, if that. But I am going to have to put the roof on because I am really, really cold. But yeah, it's not bad, is it? Not bad, Elly. Oh, there we go. The sun is setting on another adventure. We are back home, or very nearly home. 350 miles in 2 days in this crazy little contraption. I'm absolutely exhausted. My arms hurt, my back hurts, my shoulders hurt, my ears hurt. But yeah, I guess Betty's made me soft. What a brilliant adventure. So thank you very much for watching. Much more to come from this trip. Cars are tested and such, and a chat with the main man at Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust. I'm going to bed now. Bye.